Hey guys, Rachele here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So this is kind of like a follow-up to the first membership private chat that we did on Geomancy, which was last week. Yeah, last week. So I wanted to explain a little bit about geomancy, actually show you a couple of different ways in order to do it. However, I also wanted to mention that I have decided to not continue with the memberships. We're going to still do videos and stuff like that and chats, my sister and I, with different areas. First we did like 13 or 14 weeks of astrology, and then we're doing geomancy next. We're going to be doing palmistry and who knows what else. And I like doing the worksheets and stuff like that for the different things that we discuss on Amethyst Ascension channel. And most of you have not been privy to it because you were not members of the channel. There's a few that have, but I put so much work into it, it's just not worth it to do the memberships. And then after, YouTube takes their cut. And anyways, getting off track. So I decided to show you a little bit about the things that I am including in a kit for anybody that is interested, that enjoys doing geomancy or is just learning how to do geomancy. These are just a few things that you can get off of my Buy Me a Coffee, or Ko-fi, that's what it is. And I will be putting a link down below in the description to where you can go and purchase this kit. And I just decided to make these all public, and then you can purchase the kits if you would like to off of my Buy Me a Coffee, or yeah, Ko-fi, whatever it is. So here is 3 geomantic shields that I created, and a little bit of introspection over here. A couple of pages of the actual geomantic meanings. Get a little bit closer so you can see. This is not a course. These papers are not courses. They're just, they help you in your, in your own geomantic journeys. Okay. But I wanted to show you the different things that you can do. And also with the kit, I created 2 different decks. It's different fonts, and they're solid. This, they're all the geomantic stuff on the other side. So there's that one. And this is a newer one that I created. And it's actually one. However, I printed it off 4 times. So there's actually like 64 cards here. And it's just, they're like mandalas. And it's all of the different figures. There's 16 figures in a set. And all the meanings are on the back side. So you also get both of all of these are PDF also. So everyone should be able to easily access them. And they are $5.55. And the beautiful thing about having PDF is, if you want, you can have just a set that you use. If you want to laminate them, you can laminate them. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You can print off a whole bunch like I have here. And you can actually use them in order to create your mothers. If you have been, if you know anything about geomancy, it's a shield, or at least the basics of geomancy. It is a shield, and you create your first 4 mothers, and then you can do like elimination in order to get to your judge. And if you still feel like you need more information, the reconciler and stuff, and these are all on here. But if you want to just use the cards so they fly out, there could be your first mother. There's 4 of each, so there's an opportunity to get more than one. And this is a great resource also. Well, it's just for... Okay, so let's say that's our second one, our third, and our fourth. Okay? So then you would fill them in. So that's one of the ways with this. Another way is to actually turn your sheet over. Remember, it's a question based. So one that I had done was, should I continue doing memberships? And so I wrote that down. I put the name and the date and the question, and then I ended up doing my geomancy, and I'm not sure where I put it. But then I filled it all out, and then you can transfer it over into your astrological signs, or your astrological chart. And you can put like your this is first house, second house, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So this essentially would be your answers and how they affect each different house of your astrological, your chart. So the first house being like of yourself based off Aries, the second house based off of Taurus, which is like your gains and losses and inheritances and different stuff. And then your third house based off of Gemini, and then Cancer, and blah 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 blah. Okay, it's just something that you can utilize. And then here's just the cheat sheets. So anyways, the second, I know I'm kind of getting off track, sorry. My mind is so scattered. It's just one of those things. So one of the ways I also like doing geomancy, and I think it is so powerful, is to do 16 lines, okay? And then whatever the question is, I keep on asking the question in my mind, and I go like this. Close my eyes and just keep going like that. And I do a whole bunch really fast so that I'm not easily keeping track of whether or not I'm doing even or odd. If you are somebody that is more prone to always do something that's more, balanced, more even. If you do a whole bunch of them really fast and you close your eyes, it's almost impossible. It's just like when there's the spirit inside you that says, okay, stop. So what you would do is then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So with it being 18, it's an even number. So that would be 2. Right? So you keep doing that. So let's say this one was odd. Or you could do them as like dots. And you would do that all the way down. And you would get all your first 4. So let's say we were going back with our first set. And I'm sorry, I always kind of write on the angle. That's kind of difficult. But this is what the geomantic figures are made up of. So that would be an odd, even, even, odd. Even, even, odd, even. See how that works? So if you have 16 lines, 4 lines would make up your first geomantic figure, and you would fill in the first 4 geomantic figures. So let me pause this a second. Let me get my first 4 figures, and then I'll show you how the rest of it works. So I'm just going to actually keep on doing this really quick. So one of the ways also that you can do geomancy, and I put it down here, my name, date, and the question, should I continue with the channel memberships? So you can either do just straight dice also, or you can do colored dice. Or colored die. So green, earth, yellow, air, fire for red, and blue for water. Each geomantic figure is made up of 4 lines. If it's a single digit, it is active element. Each line represents a different element, and that's the basis of it. So fire is the top one, Air is the second one, water is the third one, and earth is the fourth one. If it's a double, then it means it's passive energy. Okay? So, should I continue with the channel memberships? So, fire being on top, then air, then water, and earth. Just like the chart, see? So, we've got an odd, odd, even, even. So, my first figure would be odd, odd, even, even. Now, so you can do it like that. Or you can do it the automatic writing like I showed you. Or should I continue with the channel memberships? Now, let's say we want to use regular dice or die. So we can go 12, 17, 18, 19, 20. Did I do that right? Yes. So that's 20. So that would be an even number. So that would be double. Should I continue with the channel memberships? 10, 12, 13. So odd. So it's 1. Should I continue with the channel memberships? 12, 20, right? So that's another even. Should I continue with the channel memberships? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So odd again. And we would continue in that fashion. Okay, sorry. I had to move my incense burner because, oh my goodness, it was just coming in at me, and Sully even got up and moved. Or we can use the deck. Should I continue with the channel memberships? We get the first flyer. So it's Elvis. Okay. Should I continue with the channel memberships? And there we go. Rubius. Now we have, you see the different ways that you can come up with your shield and get your mothers. These, by the way, I got a whole big package of these. I think like 50 die maybe of the different colors, like 9 of each, I think. And plus there was a black or purple one, I can't remember, for like $6. So dice are really a cheap way to go as well. So once we have our mothers, our first 4 mothers, now in order to get our daughters, which are the next 4, we're going to take the first of each one of those to make our next figure. So we've got odd, even, even, even. So odd, even, even, even. Then we've got odd, odd, even, odd. Odd, odd, even, odd. We've got even, even, odd, even. And the last one, which is the 4th line, we've got even, odd, even, even. That is how we create our daughters. Now we want to go down and create all of our nieces. We've got 4 nieces. So now we're going to take and add these. So if that's an odd number, then it's 1. If it's an even number, then it's 2. And we do it line at a time. So that was 3, which makes, an odd number, which is 1. We've got 2, which is an even number, which makes 2 doubles. 4 doubles, and 3 odd. And we're going to carry that down. So 1 and 2 of the mothers makes the first niece. 3 and 4 of the mothers makes the second niece. The first and second of the daughters makes the third niece. And the third and fourth of the daughters makes the 4th niece. So I'm just going to do that really quick. It is so friggin' easy. So that's what we have. These are all geomantic figures. There's 16 geomantic figures. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our first and second niece to make our right witness. So we're going to do the exact same process that we did here, combining these two to make one. We're going to do that with these. So we've got odd, 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 and odd. We're going to do the same with the left witness. We're going to combine them. So we've got even, even, odd, and odd. Now, in order to get our judge, we're going to combine the left witness and the right witness. So we've got odd, odd, even, even. So the judge and the very first mother are exactly the same, which is, I believe that is, we're going to find the geomantic figure, which is right here. Fortuna Minor. So if you want it a little bit easier to see what it means, where are you? Watch it be the last one. That's so typical. There we go. So you can find your card if you want it a little bit larger. Fortuna Minor. Southern Sun. The Leo, sign of Leo. Affects the spine. It is positively aspected in your 5th house and negatively aspected in your 11th house. Weekly favorable figure that offers short-term success, favorable for quick solutions or resolutions. Reminds us that luck and fortune can be fleeting. Swiftness or unstable success is a small hurdle that can be overcome, and within months. So these are how you do geomancy. So with that being Fortuna Minor, I'm thinking it might be good for the short term, but it's nothing that's gonna do well for me. It's not like long-term success or anything. So I have to ask myself, is it worth, which is what I have been asking myself, is it worth all the work that I've been putting into it? Or should I maybe rethink the way that I am doing these? Or perhaps find a different platform in order to be able to do these? These are all questions I'm asking myself. And when I was talking with my sister, that's how we kind of decided to pursue it a different way, and show the public what we are offering, and then give them the opportunity, if they are interested in it, then they can purchase these kind of materials on the side. So another thing that you can look at is, if you're uncertain as to, or you want to know, or you want a little bit more introspection into what Fortuna, how this reading is going to affect you, the querent, or if you're doing a reading for somebody else, you can do a reconciler, which is where you take your mother, your first one, your first figure, with your judge, and you add them together like you did these. So we've got an even. So I'm just going to go like this. We've got an even, an even, an even. That is the most passive of all of the figures, because every single one of the elements, the fire, air, water, earth, and I'm looking for it, and that's the most active. Vaya is the most active, and I'm looking for it, and of course I cannot find it. All right, let's find it on here. It's called Populus, the many. So, waxing moon, Cancer, the breast and torso, 4th house aspected, and not in the 10th house of career. Neutral figure, that is the most passive of all figures. It represents the individual voice or the muddled noise of many, multitude or a gathering, united purpose or alliance of good or bad receptivity and intuition. So it's saying that if I do that, perhaps for me, I would just get lost in the mix of other people that are maybe doing this kind of work, or by keeping it like a closed membership, I'm not, for me, it would not be beneficial. I think that's what it's saying. And it would be like stagnant, where via is change, populous is like kind of like stagnant, I kind of feel like, because it is the opposite energy. So everything is just like kind of passive, you know. So there you have that. Also, you can look at your left and right witness. Your right witness would have to do with your recent past. Your left witness would have to do with your recent future, or your, upcoming future. And there's more to it. I would suggest definitely doing more of your own research into geomancy. But I fell in love with geomancy. I do it all the time now, and also do it with my astrological chart, putting like these questions, like for instance, okay, like the 10th house, which is career, right? Or the 10th house also of the father, but it's the house that's based off of Capricorn. So my 10th house in my mother's sheet, and this is what it looks like, or I mean in my shield, would be right here. This is my 10th house, which, what is that? Is that Cursor? So this is how my figure would be. And Cursor means, I think that's Cursor. I think that's connection, actually. Oh my gosh, it seems like whenever I'm looking for something. Not cursor, I'm sorry, conjunctio. Conjunctio, connection. Mercury retrograde, Virgo, the digestive system, 6th house and 12th house. Neutral figure that increases all the good or evil. It is very favorable in situations that involve relationships or contracts. Also favorable when searching for lost items. The converging of two paths or reconnection, forces coming together, or crossroads, and within days. So, anywho, that just gives you a little bit more introspection, and then understanding what each house stands for, and using the cards and how they fall in place, or using the geomantic figures and putting them in there just to get a little bit more in depth with it, if you want to, depending on what kind of question you are asking. I mean, should I or shouldn't I? It could be bigger questions than simple stuff like this also. Like anything, really. Anything that you are looking for. And I will tell you, geomancy, although it's not just for yes or no questions, because obviously you can see it can go very deep, but at the same time, it can be easy if you're just looking for a good yes or no quickly. It does not take long in order to find your four mothers, and then you've seen how quickly I went through the rest of the shield. And then there's other things that you can do as well, like finding the things that are common. So it would be this one, this one, this one, and this one, and see where that leads you. And it leads you right back to the very first one, which was minor, Fortuna minor. So temporary, it might be good for me temporarily, but long term, it's not worth my investment. So my time investment, that is. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I am going to be putting a link down below to where you can purchase this Geomancy Kit. And I am sending you love and light. Thank you so much.